Hey, how are we going? So our focus for the week is looking at mobility and looking at getting the body moving as able as possible, and also we're going to look at some common injuries and ailments that people may have. And please send through any that you may have gone through that you want me to do a focus on. I wanted to show you some my favourite things for mobility is a tennis ball and or a lacrosse ball. Like these, they've got a little bit more soft and give on tight areas, and these have got a little bit of stick to them if they go against your skin to help get a little bit more sliding surfaces on your skin. So that's one reason injuries come, is that things get a bit tight and they can't slide smoothly as they're designed. And your roller, or if you don't have a roller, broomstick handle or a barbell, something round, hard, that you can roll your ankle on is what we're going to use for this today. Alright, so we're going to start with feet and ankles today, because the feet have a big follow on all the way up the body, and if they're not working properly, then it carries on up the body. First thing, let's do a little jump on the spot. Alright, now look down and see if your feet are straight or if they've kind of flared out a little bit for stability. Ideal, we want them straight. If they have gone out straight, it means they're not getting the torque and they're trying to get balance from here, what means that your glutes aren't engaging. Next one is look down and see if your arches look like they're caving in or if they're nicely raised up. So if they are down, it means also that our glutes aren't engaging. So if you engage your glutes and push your hips forward, see how your knees turn out and how your arches will lift up on your feet if you look down. Now the next thing is looking at your ankle flexibility. If you've got perfect ankle flexibility, be able to push those knees out, keep your feet together, keeping your heels on the ground, so you can get this far, and get your bum right down deep, so you're getting below your knees at least. So that's a sign if you've got perfect ankle flexibility or if we can improve on it. And other one is if you can sit on your knees comfortably like this. What is your dorsiflexion? So one's your plantar flexion, one's your dorsiflexion. The other way. So if you're not perfect, then we're going to go through some exercises for that. So first off, probably start with your tennis ball. We're going to do some rolling under your foot. So with your foot, just start with your arch. Now if you find any hot spots, that's where you can feel extra bit of tight. Do some contract and release. Contract and release. See if you get some release in there. You can also move your toes over. So now roll it up. So when you've done your arch and feel that's quite comfortable. The problem is our shoes tend to hold our feet in a real rigid position. And our feet are designed to move. Now arches are designed to absorb and release like a trampoline. And when you've got all these arch support, they just lose their ability to engage and work. Alright, so we do all this in our Monday mobility activation classes at the moment, so I can fill up a whole hour with this and I'll try not to. Second one is going under your ball of your foot, roll over there, see if there's any sort of tight spots, and curve those toes right under and out. Follow around, outside of your foot, heel, and just try and move that foot, clench and release on anything that's tight. So have a play with that on both feet. Right, next one what I want you to do is just try and lift those arches of your feet. So try and lift those arches up using your arch lifter. So this isn't using my glutes, this is just me trying to lift the arch up here away from my fingers. the next one up on that is trying to pick something up. So put something under your toes, squeeze your toes, and try and pick it up. Again, release it, squeeze, and pick it up. I'm just doing imaginary, it was fine. Squeeze, pick it up. So this is working arches, but also all through your feet there as well. And repeat that on the other foot. Alright, our next one, sorry if I'm zooming through all this, is trying to see what ankle flexibility you got. So get in here, push your knee as far forward as you can. Just do a little wiggle from side to side. Tell me, can you feel if the restriction is feeling like it's in here, or if it's here in your heel cord? Start the video, Lois. Alright, so restriction on the... Yep. So tell me which one it is, and that'll help us knowing if we've got to work on your Achilles and your calves, or if we've got to work on this ankle flexibility. That's going to help you get it. Other one is to make sure that your toes are going directly over your knee. Cool. Now, another way to do this, I don't know if you guys have done contract and release. So if you take that as far forward as you can, like push your foot into the ground, so really push. So just by contracting your foot, so squeeze your foot into the ground, see if that makes sense. You can feel kind of tension around the top of your feet, and then relax. As you relax, if your knee can come forwards a bit more. So again, so push in, so I'm just contracting, I'm just squeezing the muscles in my foot, essentially pushing them into the ground a bit, and relax, so you can get more out of that. So you can do that 3 or 4 times and see if you can get a little bit more out of your ankle as well. Next on my list, sitting on calves here. So first one, sitting with your toes under. That gives you a nice little stretch under here. So I quite like doing this as I find mine get quite tight, and all our jumping stuff can make that get quite as tight as well. So just stretching through there. And then we're going to go into flat flexion here and pulling that knee up as far as you can. If you can't do that, just sit here. That's probably enough stretch for you. It's fine. Otherwise, add in this extra stretch and see how far you can pull the knee up. Right. Now, one more thing we'll go over for today is twisting. So if you just do some prodding around here, see if behind the ankle bone there's any sore spots there. Usually get a little bit of sore spot there. Also have a little play and see if your skin moves freely, if it's kind of clunky and hard. So you'll know if it's not working, it just won't slide. And if it is clunky, get your ball and push it in and twist it. So it just helps get some sliding surfaces working. Let's go around. Again, if you've got a hot spot in here behind the ankle, what I often get is an impingement with your arches collapsing. You can just hold and push. Otherwise, we're just twisting, going up your heel cord, going straight up the back of your Achilles. Holding it in a bit of tension as you do it. So this is where the lacrosse ball or something that's a little bit sticky gets in a bit better. Down the bottom. Alright, it's probably given you enough to think about for today. Any questions on that? Send them through.